Yes, sir. What is going on, YouTube? It is your boy D Nolly, aka Don Squally, and we are back at it with another YouTube video, man. In this one, we are getting into a video that I think is going to be pretty exciting. I know quite a few of you guys have been requesting it lately on the channel, man. Believe it or not, this vehicle was extremely hard to find. Not this one, the one that we're about to build. But before we get into today's video, man, I want to let you guys know that we are doing an auction of quite a few of the cars on the channel, man. So if you guys are on Forza Horizon 4, head on over to the auction house where you can buy and own a couple of the cars that we have built here on the channel. But today's video is coming from Dom 20202, Blitz X, Full Boost Guys, Blair Mead, Leroy Jenkins, Carlos Gasaway, and Colton Brady all want to see that Cleetus McFarland Crown Victoria neighbor build. Now, I am not going to lie, it took me about an hour to actually find and buy this car on the auction house. This car is one that you can only get in a wheel spin. As you can see, it was pretty much built into a cop car. But I went ahead and put everything back to stock just for this video, man. Now, if you guys are not familiar with Cleetus McFarland's Crown Victoria, this thing has a Coyote 5-liter swap, supercharged, and a big old shot of nitrous, man. So what I think we need to do is jump into the upgrade section, obviously, and see if we can replicate this build. Now, like I say, the Crown Victoria, an absolute pain in the ass for me to even find, which kind of sucked. Now, a few engine options here. Looks like we have that 6.2 liter V8. Not sure what that's going to be out of. Or we have that 5.8 liter supercharged engine there. I think for the sake of this video, we're going to go ahead and put that 6.2 liter, even though the engine that's in this thing is in fact a Coyote 5.0 out of the new Mustang. We are in fact going to go ahead and supercharge this beast. Now, you guys can believe if there was nitrous in Forza, we would definitely be putting that on there. Now, as far as the aero goes, obviously this thing is pretty much as sleeper as it gets. 100% stock looking on the outside, despite all the major modifications on the inside. But since we've put such an aggressive engine in this thing, we are definitely going to have to go ahead and upgrade the tires. So obviously a race tire compound is going to be pretty much where we want to be with this thing. Upgrading the tires, as you can see, a couple of the parts already owned from who I bought this car off of at the auction house. Ended up paying $150,000 for this Crown Victoria, which in Horizon 3 and it was, you know, bought for $5,000. So not too sour about that, man. We're doing it for the YouTube, and obviously, you know, it's a small expense to be making these kinds of videos for you guys. Now, if you are familiar with this Crown Victoria, you will know that it has a manual transmission swap in it, which is absolutely a perfect mod for this car. The automatic transmission, very sloppy. You know, my grandfather had a Grand Marquis back in the day, pretty much the same as a Crown Vic, and the transmission's just not very fun at all. So that's nice to see that they went ahead and dropped in that manual transmission. Now, if you guys are familiar, this thing, full weight reduction on this car, pretty much fully gutted interior. So that's what we're going to try to do on this build to replicate that. And of course comes the fun part, just a little bit of modifications for this. Since we are rocking with a 6.2 liter instead of the 5 liter, I'm feeling like we're going to be getting a little bit more power to begin with. So we're not going to get too crazy with this thing. We are, however, going to go ahead and upgrade that supercharger. Now, if I'm not mistaken, this thing was making around 350 horsepower before it blew up on the dyno. As you guys can see, we are rocking well above that, right around 700. So I think I'm probably going to go ahead and dial that back just a little bit. put everything back to stock because, in all honesty, I want this thing to be as close to getting replicated. And after looking at the horsepower, man, we are well above the horsepower numbers this thing was putting out. But now that we got all of the build process out of the way, we are ready to go ahead and install this setup. A very modest $34,000 compared to what I actually paid for this car. Now that we got all that finished up, we're going to jump into the tuning real quick. Now, one thing I do want to do is raise this thing up quite a bit. I want this to look like a completely stock police car from the outside, and the suspension is just a little bit too low for my liking. Next up, obviously, we're going to go ahead and jump into the designs and paints. Now, if you guys are familiar with this car, like I say, pretty much 100% stock looking from the outside. So what we're going to have to do is just go ahead and throw a nice icy white paint job on this thing. And we are just about ready to hit the road with the neighbor build. And now that we got the paint job out of the way, the build process out of the way, I'm ready to hit the road with this thing. And to be honest, I'm pretty excited to see what it can do. Now, one thing that I do want to do is hit the drag strip. So I am going to go ahead and set our coordinates for the Horizon Festival drag strip and see how this thing rips on the way there. So that supercharged Crown Victoria, no nitrous shot unfortunately, but I guess we have the extra little horsepower to make up for that. Now, right out of the gate, right off of the bat, as some people might say, it actually handles really nice. I think the weight reduction has really helped this thing to stay planted. Look at that, another Crown Victoria. Everybody biting my steez out here today, eh? Just bought this thing, and now everybody's got to be driving it. I mean, it handles pretty good. Not too much wheel spin, you know, from a dig. Corners, surprisingly, you'd expect this thing, which weighing close to 4,000 pounds if I'm not mistaken, you would expect this thing to really slide off the road going around corners, but with these tires and the weight reduction, I feel like this thing it's handling exceptionally well, I'm not gonna lie. Now, we aren't into any serious twisties. This thing not so much built for a straight line. We do, however, have six gears right now, so we could probably adjust the transmission just a little bit. But I'm going to focus a majority of my attention just cruising there now. Beautiful sights here out in Forza Horizon 4, ladies and gentlemen. One of the things that I really do enjoy about this game is just all of the attention to detail. I was saying that to one of my buddies the other day. You know, if you literally go into drone mode or photo mode around buildings and stuff, there's actually tables and stuff in pretty much every single window. There's actually rooms inside of pretty much every single window in the area that I was exploring, which to me is absolutely crazy. Just, you know, obviously they could probably use a little bit more of that memory in the game to I don't know, put more cars and stuff like that, but I mean, obviously they know what they're doing, and I'm very impressed. But what we're gonna do here is hit up the drag strip. Now, if I'm not mistaken, these lights should come on at some point if I'm staging correctly. I don't think I'm staged correctly, but yeah, there it goes. Let's see how she goes here. Hauling some serious ass all the way up. We're gonna hit this speed trap right now at 202 kilometers an hour, which is pretty nice. Now, the thing about just doing these little digs here is you get your miles per hour, and now what I think we're gonna do is actually go into a drag race and see if we can get a legitimate time here for the Crown Victoria. And that's pretty much how I figured out we can get the trap speed and then get the exact time. So I'm just going to go ahead and start this event real quick. We do have a couple competitors here. No wheel spin there, which was kind of nice. All the way up, hitting that red line a little more than I would like to. And now for the official time here of the Supercharged Crown Victoria, an 11.8, ladies and gentlemen. That is very impressive, especially for such a big car, and we beat quite a few cars here, as you guys can see. But now that we have our times out of the way and we know what this thing is running, I think what we are going to do, as we usually do around this time, is put an end to this video, man. I think this one was an absolute success. It's not all the time that we get to nail these ones pretty much exactly on the head. Now, the only thing this thing is missing, in my opinion, obviously, is that big old nitrous kit and that 5-liter Coyote. Obviously, we only had the opportunity to roll with the 6.2 liter, which, I'm not mistaken, that could still be a Ford motor. Would kind of suck if it was in fact a Chevy, but it is what it is. I'm going to try to get around this gate here so I can get the shot. And as we usually do, put an end to this video. So with that being said, if you guys did enjoy this one, don't forget to smash that like button if you guys want to see more and you are not subscribed yet. This is pretty much what we do on the channel here, folks. So if you guys have any requests, don't forget to let me know down in the comment section what it is that you guys want to see built next on the channel. And don't forget to hit that auction house, because we are going to be doing an auction today. I mean, by the time you're finished this video now, chances are a lot of the cars are probably already going to be bought and sold. Bought and sold, purchased and sold, things of that nature. But yeah, still head on over there. You know, you never know, you might get lucky. But with that being said, I'm your boy D Nolly, aka Don Squally, and we gonna catch y'all mofos at the next one, man. Peace. Oh no. Oh no.